Hello everybody and welcome back to another Brawlmachine battle report. Now, as you guys can probably tell just from the length of the video alone, this isn't going to be your standard battle report. This game was a little bit of a meme, and I kind of decided to upload it anyways, partially just because I wanted to have a War Machine upload in the near future, and I didn't have another video ready to go, but also just because I'm kind of using this as a respect post to Angelius almost, because Angelius is a fantastic model, and this is kind of a good showcase of that, I think. So we're not going to spend too much time on the lists here. I'm not actually going to do like a normal list rundown, but basically I was running my Lylyth Grotesques list, so it was Lylyth Grotesques, Angelius, Carnivian, and some support models, and my opponent was running a Harkevich jack heavy gun line sort of thing. So he was running Behemoth and like Destroyer and Decimator or something like that. I mix up the Khador jacks all the time, and I will continue to do so throughout the video. But yeah, basically this is just going to be a short little battle report where we're gonna get to see some interesting plays happen, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And next Brawlmachine or War Machine battle report will be a normal one. So without further ado, let's get into round one. Alright, so my turn one here was really simple. I'm basically I am acknowledging the fact that I'm out threatening him with pretty much everything I have, but he has good guns, so we might get a few shots in, but I really just want to threaten everything. So Fiona here is just running up to threaten the flag, and you'll see me measure in a second just to make sure she can get to anywhere she wants on the flag, and she indeed can. And then everything else pretty much is just running up as far as they can into the zone. I don't really have any spells to cast turn one with Lylyth, so even she's running, and yeah, it's kind of just a game of how far up the board can I be, because obviously I know he's going to be able to shoot me with some reasonably high range guns coming off of things like Behemoth. So it takes me a second here, and of course I'm trying to kind of spread out my Grotesques a little bit because I don't want them to get blasted off the board, but they do have blast protection or whatever it's called that gives them the +4 armor, blast resistance maybe. But yeah, so here I'm just kind of running up everything. That was Lylyth there, and there's the Mechana Shredder, and all of the Grotesques are just swarming up there. And yeah, just loosely spread out just in case, but obviously with that many models in this kind of tight of a scenario, not going to make a huge difference. So we move into Khador turn one here, and so Dean's turn here was actually a little bit more complicated than my turn one for sure. So he's moving Behemoth up, and takes a little bit of time here trying to decide if he wants to be at Angelius' threat or not, because of course his guns are threatening the same amount because of the Mechana Shredder. He eventually kind of realizes, okay, yeah, everything is out threatening him. He needs to just take the shots that he can. So he moves in, he boosts to hit, he ends up landing the first hit and does something like 9 damage, which is pretty heavy on Angelius, which only has 25 health here. So knowing this, of course, he's going to take his second shot, and he's going to boost to hit it again, and I think that might have been the damage he's rolling there. Whoops, I'm getting a little ahead of the video. There's the second shot, and unfortunately he misses the second shot. So now he has the, see, I'm going to mix these up, the Devastator or the Destroyer, I don't remember which one, but he's going to have one of them walk up in a second and take a shot at Fiona here. So we'll give him a second to do that, and yeah, it's that one there. Again, I don't remember which one's which, but he takes his shot at Fiona, and we'll see him roll the dice out here in a second. He's boosting to hit all of these because Khador jacks are just not very accurate. So yeah, he's just double checking the stats, and of course he misses by 1, which is a little unfortunate there. So now he's kind of figuring out what he needs to do next. But the rest of his army is going to be pretty straightforward from here. He's basically going to, I mean, his other jack doesn't have any weapons that are in range. Oh, and I have Fiona dodge a little bit closer because I kind of forget that I'm playing against Harkevich here. So he moves his other jack up. His other jack can't really do anything this turn. Then he has Harkevich and the dog go up. I think he puts the dog first, and then he puts Harkevich. And Harkevich here is just going to cast Broadside, which lets his jack shoot again. So the Behemoth's taken another shot into Angelius, and of course, I think he's about to roll it out here, but he does hit this time, and he deals another 6 damage, which drops Angelius down to 10 health, which is pretty rough. That's a really hard hit, and he ends up crippling like my body or something like that. And then he has the Widowmaker kind of come out of the corner, and oh, I think that second shot there was his Destroyer shooting at Fiona again, which he missed again. But this time he has the Widowmaker kind of pop the corner and take a shot at Fiona, and we'll have him roll that out here in a second, but he does manage to hit because Widowmakers are fairly accurate, and it was pretty decent odds that he killed after that point, so he does manage to pop her off the board. And then the only thing he has left is Yuri over at the bottom of the screen here, and he spent some time kind of debating whether or not Yuri should actually move up here, or if he should try and play it safe because Anissa was preying on him. But eventually he kind of says the same thing that he said with the rest of his army, where, you know, I'm out threatening him, and he kind of just needs to deal with that and hope that enough can get through to still fight me off. So he does just kind of end up moving him forward towards my flag in that general direction, and I'm just kind of daring Anissa to take him off the board, which, you know, gotta respect that kind of play. So we'll see him move in just a second here. Like I said, he was pretty hesitant about it at first, so and then there he is. So that's going to be the end of Khador turn 1. Legion turn 2. All right, so this is where kind of the meme begins. So here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to have Anissa go and try and pop Yuri off the board. Pretty easy to hit here. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I have him down to like def 12 or something like that because of prey, or effective def 12. So the first shot would kill him. He rolls tough here and he does succeed, but that's okay because she shoots twice and she just pops him off the board like it's nothing. We almost rolled Snake Eyes. It was a 1 and a 2 on the damage, which actually would have kept him alive, which would have been pretty funny, but it didn't happen. And now, so I kind of misplay a little bit here because I healed Angelius. I was very vocal about healing Angelius, but then I didn't actually take the Fury off of Lylyth. So I end up kind of misplaying here, but we figure it out. We realize it before it's too late. So Lylyth's going to pop a shot into Behemoth. He's going to hit, does no damage on the first shot, which is kind of what I was expecting. And then I'm going to pop Parasite, -3 armor, just kind of Lylyth's main toolkit here. And then I have a second shot, so I'm going to take that one again. And I'm going to boost the damage on it. And this is what I shouldn't have been able to do, because if I'd healed, I would only have had 1 focus left at this point, and there was one more thing she wanted to do with it. So again, we're going to reroll that damage later, but for now I did 6 damage. And then I use that 1 remaining Fury that I shouldn't have had to put the Mechanic Shredder Animus on Angelius and have Angelius charge in. So Angelius is kind of trying to stay as far away from everything else as possible, but still within, obviously, being able to hit the Behemoth. And Angelius is going to charge in with that Tail Strike plus Parasite, bring him down to armor 7. So a dice +7 swing on this first attack, and it's a charge. So it's really just not looking good. So I rolled the hit, and I rolled the damage there. I don't know if that was the damage that just showed up on the screen or if that's the first hit there. But the first one does something crazy, like, yeah, I think this is the damage here. 18 to the 2, which is absolutely crazy. It takes a massive amount of his health. And then I just kind of start swinging with my other attacks. You know, I'm going to run out of Fury here. I'm not boosting anything because it's really not hard to hit, and my average damage is like 3 or 4 or something like that. So I end up getting 5 on my other initial, and then the first bot attack does something like 3 damage. And then the second bot attack there does 7 damage, which ends up actually just taking right off the board. So Angelius just does crazy amounts of work this turn. I mean, trading up from 14 point to, I think, a 20 point heavy is just really good. And of course, Angelius is still kicking too. So now here I'm just moving up the unit. A couple of them are able to get sprays off, but they don't really matter because they're super low power and I don't have Parasite on it or anything else yet. So the one that does get a spray off, I'll roll it here in a second, but it doesn't end up doing any damage. It might have hit, I don't remember, but it's not really important. And then Carnivian's going to move up and just kind of be ready next turn. He's protected by a couple of them, just kind of hoping he gets to charge first, because obviously if he gets charged first, it's not good for him. And yeah, there's the Mechanic Shredder kind of running around behind the thing. And then the Assassin. Yeah, that's the last one. Alright, so moving into Khador Turn 2. Dean's got a lot in his face now, but this is kind of where Khador usually does best. So he's going to have the dog try and clear out this first grotesque here. He's just going to charge it. And I think we kind of used the return roll wrong here, because when he does return, he doesn't go perfectly straight line towards Harkevich, but at this point, it wasn't really a big deal. So he ends up missing the attack anyways, so he just puts him right back where he was. It really didn't end up mattering at all. And from now, he's got to kind of figure out what he actually wants to do this turn. So he's going to have, I think one of the big things that he has to deal with is trying to get rid of Angelius, which is surprisingly difficult for him because of that massive piece of terrain. His jacks have to move for it. And of course, they're already not very accurate, and they only have so many shots. So the first one's going to kind of peek the corner there. And he actually debated switching targets to Carnivian, but realizes no, he really has to get Angelius off the board here. Otherwise, she's just gonna do it again. So he's gonna move over, and he's going to take his first shot. He's gonna boost it, and he does manage to hit. But then we're gonna see the damage here in a second, and he only ends up doing 2 damage to Angelius, which is really not what he was looking for. So then he's going to buy for a second shot, and he's going to boost again, and he's going to manage to land it. And this time he does a little bit better, but still only 3 damage, leaving Angelius sitting on like 6 health at this point still, which is pretty bad for him, because he's really running out of guns over here. So he's going to have Harkevich go and try to do the exact same thing. So Harkevich is going to take a shot, and unfortunately he just straight up misses it. And then Harkevich is going to feat to allow everything else to shoot again. So he's gonna pop that feat there. He's gonna take a shot. He's going to miss, or sorry, he hits, but he does no damage off of it. And then the Jack is gonna take a shot again, and he's gonna miss as well. So at that point, Dean realized, okay, Angelius isn't gonna be off the board, so it's just gonna take another heavy next turn. And that's pretty much game right there, because he's going to be down to 1 heavy against 2. He hasn't managed to remove any of my infantry, so it's kind of just game at that point. Which, is pretty rough. Dice definitely happened there. Angelius should not have been allowed to survive that many shots at the end. But it's just kind of one of the reasons why I like Angelius so much is that it's kind of a deceptively hard-hitting model. The armor-piercing strike, it's only once per turn, so it's a little bit, it can be a little fluky sometimes, especially if you miss with it. It's really brutal if you miss, but definitely not a model to be underestimated, which, of course, like I said, dice kind of happened here. Angelius should not have been in the position to do what it would have done the next turn. But yeah, so that's going to wrap up this battle report. Like I said, super short. I'm not really labeling it as a full battle report because, it's not. It's definitely a bit more of a meme than a proper battle report. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, next Warmachine video will be a proper Warmachine battle report with hopefully a full-length game. Yeah, until then, if you guys enjoyed the video and you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and until next time, peace.